I found myself in poetry because it's among the paintings tonight. I just feel like, especially among you guys, I feel like I'm very much at home. I just feel like poetry is in me, or myself in poetry. This is a winter suite. This is a very special poem for my grandfather, who died a couple of years back. In a wind filled with thinning air, we gathered at a place we had dreamed of. Your bones had matured here, your legends followed by birds who built their nests around them. They sang songs around our stories, flaunted our lost time and the ages, for our sons and grandsons, daughters and granddaughters, progenitors and ancestors, folks who knew you well and those who never heard you talk. I was there, had belonged with you, bargaining for your everlasting desire, finally lost to time. So here is another one. It's called Dream Work. You fancied you could catch your moon with the star letters blocking your eyes and meteorites colliding in your ears. Perhaps it was the moonlight that caused your wish to reach and touch the clearest crater on the moon alongside the brightest reflection from the earth. Perhaps it was your passion for moon fishing that inspired your kindness to me and your devotion to love. Perhaps on every moony night like tonight, you meant to repeat all that and to recount our story in a grain of truth before we disappeared from the galaxy where our love was to be devoured by the long passage of time. The sun. I crashed into the sun this afternoon as I drove down Pacific Coast Highway. It was a pink-red tomato-dyed plate on a pale white sheet and looked asleep, dazed inside smoky silver clouds. I was warm, melting into the sunset, dozing with the warmth only you could provide, wondering whether our love can ever stay this way, this red, ripe with memory, filled with loveliness. Macaron sweet. Circa 1600. Generation chocolate met generation sugar. The dark mass a bright crystalline pleasure. You brought me 12 heavenly creatures made by happiness. I had hoped for 24, all chewy to treat my hormonal imbalance. You did not know I hid from you, who sought after everything but the macaron sweets. Here's the water lilies at Monet. You were water lilies before he painted you, and you became the water lilies of Monet. You stayed flawless in the painting, though you became limp and decayed. You let millions remember your grace, yet you simply were the lilies under a bridge. You were the frame of mind of Monet, and you became his projection. You remained wondrous in your beauty, though you would hardly claim the merits. You brought many to a state of delight, yet you were to die on the face of water. Rendezvous. A saffron jacket hung lonely on your chair, not on your shoulders, despising herself, desiring more. Jolting out of bed, I took it and threw it into the fire. Now you, following through, grab it and toss it back onto our bed. Black orchid. Water pond, pool, folding, sinking, wanting me. My best friend, running in and out of the courtyard unleashed. I woke up overflowing. There was the water pond of my lonely body, and a black orchid soaking on my wandering body. The listener's technique. You ponder the truth through a thin layer of rice wool, managing your listener's technique to profit from your daily practice. You didn't know how distant and distracted you've been, how much less attentive you'd become due to your persistent urge to purge your favorite person from the listening hours. Your so-called disquieting behavior lived in you and greeted the waves in the dark when the breathing stopped. During the longest moment, you needed heat and curiosity to enter a hypnotic state, and you only needed to learn the way to redeem your swan-like dreams. So here's the last one. It's called Only If. The baby cream on my skin weaves along the heat wave, which transforms into a thin layer of hope for pheromonal trace. The girls next to the fountain know nothing about my eavesdropping, their eyelids opening and closing, as if their souls have become something light and green, despite their dark suits and the sabotage they receive from their work. To reciprocate their survival in their words, the stars are kindled by the end of the world, as the Mayan predicted, to be whistled in a thin dash of air.